basically a proper noun, and the proper nouns are capitalized. So there are many other words in this dictionary, like nur. You see, nur is not showing up here, but if you do a spell check, it should show up in the spell check. I guess it's not showing, but it should show up on the spell check. Anyway, so that's all I wanted to say. This is a good feature to have. It may not work in certain cases because the spell checker algorithm in Microsoft Word has a mind of its own, and it may not be able to give you the correct spelling, but it does help us out in resolving a lot of kinks and typos. And this is another feature that I found to be very useful, and it did help me in standardizing some of the spellings too, along with the shortcuts and all the other stuff that are part of the toolkit. So hope this helps you out. Just be aware of it, and use this dictionary, and use this feature of Microsoft Word if you can. It really does help out. Now remember, the translators should be mindful of all of this too, because of the fact that what we want to achieve is, by creating all these styles and these shortcuts and all this stuff, is to minimize the work that the other person has to do after the translation is done. You see, there are many steps, right? As I told you earlier, there's the translation, and then there's a proofreading, and then there is the publication process, where you have to design the book, you have to stylize the book, you have to set the headings in a certain format, you have to add contents, you have to do all sorts of stuff. And you have to do all that stuff. Now if the translator just spent maybe 5 minutes more in fixing up that sentence using all these shortcuts and making sure that the spellings of the standardized words are correct and stuff like that, that work would not be passed on to the next person. He wouldn't have to do as much work. In this way, it would improve our efficiency overall. So for example, a manufacturing company, from the time where the raw material comes in to the last process where the final product comes out, they create these machineries to try to automate a lot of stuff, and this is what we're trying to do. So if the translator uses these automations that we've created in this toolkit, it will reduce the burden of the person who has to proofread it, or who has to design it. Our goal is that by the time it reaches that final stage where the designer has to make sure that it's correctly formatted and stuff, most of it is already formatted, and he just has to make some minor modifications, and then he has to get it out of the door and have it printed. This way our product is going to appear in the market faster, and by product I mean that our translations are going to appear in the faster. We'll be more efficient, more productive, and we can actually get more thawab by translating more and more and more books. So that's all I have for you today, dear brothers and sisters. Jazakallahu khaira.